Hi, and welcome to Mother-Daughter Confidential. Today, we're talking about the holidays. Now, Mom, is it more holidays, like days of the week, or holidays, like dazed and confused, which is kind of a little bit where I am right now?
I think it depends. Hopefully this podcast today will help the holidays, D-A-Z-E, and get people into holidays. So
okay, I like that. That's why you're here, Mom.
Does that sound good?
That's why you're here. That's why we're here, to keep it balanced with two different generations and the holidays. So let's get into it. We are in it. So that's the good news, that it's almost here. And the good news is, what's another good news about it almost being here?
Is that this can be one of the most joyful times of year. It's an opportunity to connect with family and friends. We haven't been able to do that for a while. You know, when you think back to the last holiday that we had and see the difference, just that alone.
Oh, you mean a year ago?
Yeah.
Because we just had Thanksgiving about 2 weeks ago.
2 minutes
ago. And we have some good lessons and experiences from that.
We do, that we can carry over into the holidays now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So going and piggybacking right off of Thanksgiving,
Okay.
One of the things that I took from that time with the holidays and, having a lot of kids, I believe there were 8 under 8, and there were maybe 10 adults. And so there's, you've got gifts, you've got, dishes, you've got decor, you've got planning, you've got logistics, you have time to sleep, time to eat, time to drink, time to give back.
And you've got noise.
So how do we kind of maneuver going into, you were there with me for Thanksgiving. You remember, it wasn't that long ago. Mom's looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what it reminds me of?
But maybe a short-term memory.
When people ask me, how was your weekend? And it's Monday. It's like, wait a minute, let me think for a moment.
It was just 14 days ago.
Well, let me think for a moment.
So here we are with the holidays. How do we get prepared?
Well, first of all, I think like for anything else, let's say you're going to have a dinner party. The first thing you have to do is plan. Rather than just go into the holidays and start in, it saves so much time and anxiety and hassle. When we were going to have all those wonderful family members for Thanksgiving, there was planning that went into that. Now, did all the planning materialize? No.
And everyone was flexible.
Everyone was flexible. Did a lot? Yes. Did we? Well, it's flexibility, exactly. And so it's first of all, it's planning. So here's some ideas for planning. It's home decor. Even for Thanksgiving, what was the centerpiece of the table? I think a beautiful table makes the food taste better. And so I'm one that loves to have centerpieces all year round at different times of year. So what's the home decor? We had, something very, very simple. I like to use for Thanksgiving, it's gone, but for next year, I like to use just maple leaves under glass dishes. And
we're in the holidays now.
But you can still
But Mom's now remembering Thanksgiving. So that's the silver lining here.
Caught up.
But Mom's caught up now. So we're gonna talk about December.
But you can still use the maple leaves since they're all over the place.
And spray paint them silver or gold.
And
or red.
Good
or green.
idea. Or even spray paint the name of the family member or the friend that's going to be sitting there.
Like spray paint them?
No.
Okay.
The leaf.
Okay. All right.
And so something like that. What do you want your home decor to look like? And I think the more important thing to remember is make it simple. Make it pretty and make it simple.
Yeah, I think also gifts this time of year and expenses and budgeting and gone are the days where it's just your family that you're giving gifts to, or your very select few around. everyone from the postman to your grocer to your, offices. And it's just, it's not gotten out of hand, but it's really expensive.
It can get out of hand.
It can get out of hand. So budgeting and gifts and what to get them, I think are great.
Yeah, it's all planning, and it also has to do with planning. So for example, about 3 weeks ago, I was in Ace Hardware, and I saw these beautiful, beautiful gifts that were very reasonable that I knew so many friends would love.
What was it? Like a hammer?
Flower bulbs.
Okay.
They're just beautiful. And I had one last year that I gave myself for Hanukkah/Christmas, and it bloomed, and then afterwards I put it outside and it bloomed again. I can't tell you how happy I was. And so I know my friends, they're going to love this, and I bought 7 of them, and I want to go back and get another 5, because there are people that, you know how you forget someone, like the postman or the postwoman or someone like that, so I keep them in the car. This is something I'd keep in the car wrapped, and I'd have it ready to go. I also go to Costco. They have great baskets. They're beautiful baskets, very, I think, reasonably priced. I don't have to do it. They're already wrapped, and I think of people beforehand. So it's that's how I do the gifts, and then for you.
Well,
and then
for me, it's generational, right? So moms, I'm going into Ace Hardware, I'm going into Costco. Me, I'm like, okay, that's a little too much energy and too much people, so I prefer online. And it's great because what I like about online, I have gifts to give across the country. So with Amazon, it's fantastic because the shipping is handled. It goes directly to the address. It's a great way to get in touch with someone that you haven't spoken to for a while. You get their address, you say hello, whether it's a phone call or a text, and that really helps too. And there are so many different gifts to give online.
And I
traveling,
love that.
Right? Traveling.
Right.
When we're traveling for the holidays, I don't want to bring it with me, so I just ship it to where I'm going, and that saves so much time. And Amazon is great with delivery and quickly.
Here's a generation. Here's a generation.
And groceries too.
Here's a generation change. And that is, I want to touch and I want to feel. I enjoy the adventure. I enjoy going and touching and feeling and looking at things. That's number one. Number
I do
two,
too, but I know what a stuffed animal feels like. I know what markers feel like. I know what finger paint for the kids feel like.
It's the whole energy of it.
I understand.
The energy.
I understand.
I get so excited.
I like that too.
And then the other thing, getting things online is really great. Although I, being in a business person and having had a retail dress shop, a local retail dress shop, I like giving locally, and I like focusing and supporting small businesses, and particularly women-owned businesses, quite honestly. There's nothing wrong with men-owned business, but I also love the femininity and the special pieces, I think, of a woman-owned business that's small. And so, this Sunday, in fact, I don't remember the name of this company, and I went to a farmer's market. This is so awesome. I went to a farmer's market, and this particular founder was so
Mom,
nice.
you gotta know what the name of it is.
I know, so I have to go to the farmer's market again, and it's 45 minutes away, and I'm willing to do that. And I'm going to have her ship some gifts. I'm going to bring the names and addresses, and I'm going to have her ship it. And I feel really good about that because I can feel it and touch it, and I get to experience this one-on-one personal relationship with the founder. And I see her excitement, and then I get excited. I don't know. For me, that's everything. I lose a lot online, for me.
Yeah, I mean, and to kind of counterbalance that, there's a friend of mine in Bakersfield. I live in LA, and she's in Bakersfield, and she was doing hot cocoa bombs.
Yes.
And so that was great, and that was something that I did purely online. I've never met her, but I know, who she's with, and so I just looked at her things through Instagram, and I ordered 20 different hot chocolate bombs, and it was great.
Yes.
So she put it together, she mailed it out. It was for someone who's local, and it was and it was so sweet. So when you're talking about the sweetness of it, and then when I have clients or colleagues that are across the country, I find out some really cool local finds and local businesses in their area.
That.
And like for instance, in Carmel, there's this donut shop called the Dutch Oven, and I just saw it on a local news station, and so I'm going to be sending donuts from the Dutch Oven that look amazing.
I love that.
To my colleague and to myself, but I'm supporting local.
See, I love that. And you know, you mentioned something. Instagram, that's a great place to look for gifts, is on Instagram, Pinterest, Etsy. These are all wonderful places to look for gifts. So, you know, we've got Amazon and we have all the others as well.
And Amazon, you know, I always have this conversation with you.
It's too big for me.
There are still small businesses with Amazon that you are helping, and Amazon has helped them have a national reach. So I am fully supportive of small businesses, and sometimes big businesses are great too.
Big businesses are great. Don't get me wrong. However, I like the touch. It's a balance. Absolutely. Although it's not really for me. It's 80-20. It's 80% small businesses, local, and maybe 20% big business. But that makes me happy.
Okay, so kind of changing gears a little bit. I know with Thanksgiving, one thing that stood out to me was dinner and food, and then who would clean up. I know that's a big one. And I know that when I host, I am not looking for anybody to help me. So I don't mind doing it. If it's the day after, it's the day after. If it's that evening, because I'm a night person,
you mean the dishes?
It's that evening.
You're talking about the dishes.
Yeah, the dishes. So I just want people to enjoy, and if they offer, fantastic. But I don't want them to feel obligated.
So
I think that's something to discuss.
Yes, and back up a little bit, and let's first talk about the food that gets the dishes dirty. So I was basically the primary chef for that event. My ex put the turkey in the oven, but there needed to be extras, and made potatoes and stuff like that. But then there were the salads, and there were other things. And I did have some people also helping, but I basically had decided what we were going to have each day, kind of the main meal, and then someone would make the salad or someone would help with something else. That was great, but I went grocery shopping every day, and you know what? I'm fine with that. I love going grocery shopping, especially at healthy supermarkets. I love it. I love finding healthy food. And so I was there, you know, and I planned it. I absolutely planned it, because there, as you said, there were 8 little kids there. Yeah. And in the mornings, I had 4 little ones. And so I needed to plan when I was going to go grocery shopping to make sure it was home in time. And then in between, I planned, and this is something great for the holidays when the kids are home, plan one outing a day. And so we went to an outdoor zoo one day. I wanted to go to an indoor museum, but that didn't quite work. I had a phenomenal artist come to the house, and which is
another great small business, great activity for kids.
Yes, and she
outside made placemats. It was fantastic.
Made placemats, and the kids love that. So once again, it's about planning what are you going to have for the food. Know that you're going to go to the grocery shop. If you have 15 people, as we did, we had 18 for Thanksgiving.
Amazon Prime.
And 15. See, I can't do Amazon Prime for food. I can't. I just can't. And when last year, when we did some of that, and
we did
a little bit, you did it for me, and then I would get groceries that I didn't order. That did not make me happy. And so, because I love to go grocery shopping, I can't do it online. That just takes.
So Mom has a different type of planning. I have a different type of planning. I believe in this would be great if this all happened. So we're gonna strive for that. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay too. And 9 out of 10 times it doesn't happen, and that's absolutely okay.
It's okay. You know what? Here's the deal. These are differing views. It works for you, and mine works for me. And I think what we need to always remember is to honor what works for us, not judging what we do, not judging others, and letting go of any judgment that we feel from others. It's really honoring what works for you with your time and how to de-stress. And if you do everything online, more power to you, because that works for you. I am a little more traditional, maybe a lot more traditional, and I enjoy going in person. I go during times that don't have a lot of people, and but at any rate, so I think your point is it's okay, and it's okay mostly to honor all of that. And I think above and beyond is really when we think about the holidays, what kind of memories do you want to have for your family? And I will tell you something. I'm going to ask you this question in a moment, but my feeling is, children, if you want beautiful memories for your children, at the end of the day, it's about you spending quality time talking to them, looking them in the eye, laughing with them, not being stressed out, and it'll make a difference in how they act as well. But that's how we create the memories. Going outside, if you can, play a little ball, whatever that looks like for you. Go on a hike, go for a walk, whatever that looks like. And here's my question, Naomi. What as a daughter is the most memorable for you, even for this Thanksgiving as a young adult, and possibly when you were younger? What were those fond memories?
I think the fond memories, it's a collective piece, right? So I think it's being consistent every year during the holidays. So that could be a sit-down dinner, homemade meal, or takeout. If you're a takeout person, I'm a takeout person. Throw it in the crock pot, pretend that you made it, and then serve it beautifully. So I think just there were no phones, whether it was landline back in those days, absolutely no cell phones now. But I think for Braden, my little one now, I think it's about being consistent, having the family together. He was so excited. The most important thing to him was having the family together. You like doing the gratitude and the thankful writings and speeches and things like that. That's not my style. I'm a little more subdued to that. But that's your style, and that's fantastic. And what was really cute is that I think as kids, we always felt a part of the dinner, whether it was Thanksgiving dinner, holiday dinner, any dinner, a Monday dinner. We were always involved. So I think kids just take that feeling with them. And I know for me, it makes you stronger. It makes you good in being an individual. It makes you available to talk about things and feel comfortable. And one of the things this Thanksgiving, when you were giving your gratitude speech and your thankful speech in front of,
cried.
Table of 18, but that means it was heartfelt.
It was.
Right? No judgment on ourselves or others.
Oh, man.
And then Braden, my little 4-year-old, Mom said, does anyone else have anything to say? And he's the head of the kids' table, and he raised his glass and he said, I'm so thankful for everybody in my family. Mm-hmm. And he does 3 syllables with family, so my family. But it was just so cute because I think that ties in what I'm saying. The kids just feel a part of it.
Right, and it's interesting. If we had pizza instead of turkey, Braden would say the same thing.
If we had spaghetti.
And if we had spaghetti.
Instead of turkey.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what it is. And so we, many times as women, we get so nervous that the food has to be perfect and it has to be huge and a huge selection. That's not the piece to focus on. The piece to focus on is how can we de-stress so we're available for our family. Mm-hmm. That's the key, because that's what kids remember, mm-hmm. and that's what adults remember. And I'll tell you, kids pick up stress. They pick up stress. We think we can, bypass so they don't get it, but that's so not accurate. That's so not accurate. Kids pick up the energy and vibrational frequency of their parents and significant others more than adults even, I think. Mm-hmm. And so that is about, again, it's that planning. At the end of the day, what kind of family memories? And then there's one more thing that's really big for me. that I'd love to share, and that is, in terms of planning, is plan quality time for yourself. I don't care if it's 10 minutes. I don't care if it's 30 minutes. I don't care if it means sleeping in for an extra 30 minutes. You let people know the night before. You know, Naomi's really good about this. I just know Naomi's going to sleep in, God bless her. And that is how it goes. And we work around it. And if that's,
I'm a Taurus mom.
if that's what it takes to have quality time for yourself, then I think it's important that everyone in the family honors that for each member.
Well, I mean, you have to, yes, that's an ideal situation, but it's no one's responsibility to take care of anybody, right? I was very fortunate. This Thanksgiving, I was exhausted. I have a slight tear in my rotator cuff, which is not fun, and it is so painful, and it knocks you out. And Mom was amazing, taking care of Braden every morning, and while I was handling this situation. And Braden had such a great time, and he was playing with all of his cousins, and he didn't know. He was fine with it. He was absolutely fine.
That's what moms do.
Yeah, but
that's what grandmas do and moms do.
Well, they don't do, but it's nice if they do, right? Don't feel that expectation. I think that's a huge expectation. And being a daughter, right? It's an expectation to clean up the table or help set up the table or help cooking. I don't like cooking. I don't mind taking the dishes to the sink. I don't mind cleaning the dishes, but I like doing them at a later time. So it might not hit the time that you want, but I participate. So I think there's less expectations, and that's a curious generational thing too. And I don't know if when Braden gets older, if I'm gonna expect him to cook and clean. So maybe I'll be eating crow in another 14 years. But I just think that everyone should come and gather, and that's kind of the point of it all. Mm-hmm. And the logistics of cleaning and cooking, whoever enjoys doing that can volunteer. And if you don't volunteer, I don't know, am I wrong to think that it's...
Well, I don't think
to ask is not, people, they want to relax. They're with family. They might have a different intention of being with family and to relax than kind of keeping up with what they always do.
I think every family is different. I know
I'm talking about me specifically.
I know
I'm pretty specific here, but I'm sure there are some of you that will understand what I'm saying.
But I know for me, I love cooking, I love baking. I don't love cleaning up, and I'm not one to clean up right away, especially after a beautiful dinner party or Thanksgiving. I don't care.
But that's not the thing. The thing is asking people.
Just a minute.
Right?
So I don't care if dishes are in the sink. I don't care. However, I do expect that family members, not guests, but family members
that don't live in the house.
I do expect family members.
We're no longer guests. We haven't had that address, Mom, in a long time. We are
help
guests.
Out. I do expect them to help out.
I don't get mail there anymore. That makes me a guest.
Not do everything, but to help out. And one talks to the other. I'll do this. I'll do that. I think that's a beautiful way.
In your time frame?
Well, with the second
hesitation and pause.
The second day.
No, I don't think the second day.
The second day to do dishes. The day after to do dishes. Yeah, absolutely. And not wait until the late afternoon, because now you're into making dinner again for the next. You need to have dishes and forks, and you need space. We needed space in that kitchen.
So I guess you can hire people to do that, or you can use paper plates. That would be fantastic.
We did both. We didn't hire anyone, but we did use paper plates. But even so, in the cooking process and the dishes and things like that, there's still dishes, there's still things that have to be cleaned up.
Right, but I will say sometimes when people are ready to clean or put things away, you want us out of the kitchen because you need space.
Well,
so I don't know.
Before dinner the next day.
No, Mom. Sometimes you were good. No, sometimes
or lunch.
So that leaves you like an hour and a half. I'm just kidding. But I mean, I just think maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. I just think if I no longer get mail at a residence, I am a guest.
Herein lies the issue.
Yes. But, kind of moving on to another subject, along with giving back to the family, is giving back to the community and organizations that it's a great time to do this time of year and any time of year. And there are a couple of organizations that are near and dear to my heart. I love No Kids Hungry. I didn't understand until the pandemic that kids got most of their meals at school. And so No Kid Hungry really works to help kids stay fed. And that's a very, very, very important organization, near and dear to my heart. Also, I do the LA Mission here in LA, which helps people on Skid Row, provides food. They're always looking for donations. St. Jude's is fantastic. And, in the comments, please suggest organizations, because whether it's now during the holiday time or any time of year, these organizations must be supported. And I think maybe if you're stressed, something that could help de-stress you is to just take a moment and give back to somebody else. And that seems to kind of reconfigure things and put things a little bit in perspective.
I think all of those are wonderful organizations. I do want to say, though, that those organizations, children need to eat all year round. The homeless need to eat all year round. St. Jude's needs help all year round. Just recently, I just want to share, for those of you who are part of a nonprofit or who want to really be able to give quite a bit, there is an organization right now that says we're going to fundraise $60,000 in one day, and they have someone to match that $60,000. That $60,000 is met. The match is another $60,000, and now this particular $120,000 to help families, to help educate, and this is across the board. And so I thought that was such a phenomenal way to raise funds quickly. And if you could find a donor, it doesn't have to be $60,000. What if it was $5,000? That adds up to $10,000. That's a lot of groceries.
Well, I think that would be really fun to do just online, and do, instead of a giveaway through your social media channels, through your email, just make it an event. Make it a one-day event and say, on this day, we're going to be raising, our goal is X amount. If you can contribute, that would be great. This is where it's going to be going, XYZ, and make that happen. So I think that's, I think giving it's so rewarding, and it just puts everything in perspective.
Well, it's a universal law, right? It's a universal law. That which we give out, we receive. And one of the best ways to get out of depression is to help others less fortunate. And so it's a very powerful way to live.
Yeah, and again, remember that they need your support all year round. So if you do it quarterly, that would be fantastic. And never feel badly with any amount that you can give, because if a lot of people gave that same amount, everyone would be doing pretty well.
$5, $3, $2, $10, it adds up. And I have to share that what I want to say, just as a reminder, I just want to kind of do a quick summary, because we shared a lot here, but I think it's really important that you remember that either you do it, or you pick it up, or you send it out to be done. And then you let go of it. And you learn for next year instead of obsess over it. Just let it go. Those three things: do it, pick it up, or send it out. And I think at the end of it
makes such a difference,
right?
Yes.
And we have,
than just thinking about
that's
it.
That's right. And we have those options. And at the end of the day, if building memories for family members, for friends, for yourself is top priority for the holidays, then be present, and be present now. And something that's big in my my arena, which Naomi, you just shared earlier, is be in gratitude. Be in gratitude. Gratitude helps me stay centered. It really helps me stay centered. So that's...
And and have your care people that you reach out to, right? Because some people might not have a family to go to, or they travel solo, lucky you, for the holidays. So, you know, there is no one size fits all. Everybody is there in their own moment in time, and just kind of appreciate that and reach out and have your care team just really feel what's important to you. And that could look so different than the way that you've done things for every year in the past. And I think
have one more thing. I just love this.
Just one? Mom's a Gemini. One multiplies exponentially very quickly.
I call it divinely gifted downloads. And that is, and if you can, if you have the time, buy a chicken already made.
We're back to food.
Or, of course, or stick a raw one in the oven for an hour or whatever. Put some vegetables together.
An hour, Mom, it's going to be undercooked. You can't cook a chicken for an hour?
Whatever it is. And then get frozen vegetables, stick it in with the chicken, and then give it to a family or someone who is solo. All through the year, but particularly this time of year. And I think that's one of the best gifts that anyone can ever give someone who is by themselves or not feeling well or can't be with family or they don't have family.
And I think to end and piggyback on that and end is with gifts. It could just be a simple card.
Yes.
And you mail it. You don't email it, but you mail it. And just going to the mailbox and opening that letter, and for that moment, somebody truly did think of you, I think is very important, and maybe might take a little bit of stress off as far as gifts or anything like that. And it can be, you know, a fancy card that you've done, or it could just be a handwritten note, but it's the intent. So thank you so much for joining. We hope that we cleared up your holidays and confused and made it back to enjoying and looking forward to the holidays coming up. And we'd love to hear some holiday traditions and things that you like to do, organizations that you support, and let's make this a wonderful community.
I love that.
So this is This isn't live, Mom. This is Mother Daughter Confidential. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.